Pro Grip Racing presents Show Us Your Tips Midweek Preview. Here we are, as we are each and every week, twice a week. Free tips with progripracing.com.au. Check them out for their free tips and extensive guides as well. Plenty of news happening as we head into day 2 of the championships. Beaver, how was day 1?
Yeah, not too bad. It was a bit tricky in parts, mate. Kind of had an interesting day. Struggled a bit early, then hit me straps middle of the day. But probably gave most of it back towards the end of the day there. So yeah, just couldn't strike the last blow to top it all off. But it wasn't too bad overall.
Yeah, the couple of bests, we nailed all our bests, I think. But I think Randwick played wetter than I thought it would have. I thought it might have dragged a little bit more.
Yep.
That disadvantaged a few I liked, and good day's racing, but yeah, probably just on the wrong side of the ledger, which happens. I guess we dust ourselves off and get back to some midweek stuff, and we'll have a quick look towards day 2 at the end of this, and be back later in the week to discuss the full card there. So I'll quickly, your thoughts on, I guess, the Derby. I guess the main one will be Montefilia backing up into the Oaks. Yay or nay?
Oh, look, I think Montefilia's run was a pretty good one. It got stuck on the inside, and I'm not sure the inside was the place to be by that time of the day. And so I was struggling to get a gauge through the actual run. I think most of the winners sort of got out to the middle of the track for the best part of the day. And so maybe it just wasn't in the best part of the ground. But again, it worries me when that happens, how much it takes out of them.
You know what?
And it wasn't an easy run.
You know what the winner had on the rest of the field, which I missed, and also in the staying race, the 2,400 meter run. That already had the run over the distance, and I guess that counted. And same as Quick Thinker, I was keen on it last week, and then
yes, you were.
Now it had the run. I jumped off, and I should have stuck one more. And I think it's a big tick heading into this week. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting one, and yeah, 2,400 meter lead up for the 2,400 meter races always seems to pop up. Very smart Sydney form analyst hammers that point a lot. So,
but one of the girls racing against the boys and backing up to the girls after a tough run. Yeah, just worries me how much of a gut buster it might have been.
Well, the thing is, the lead up was a gut buster. Harmony Rose went nearly at cleaner speed, and 3-year-old fillies don't often recover from that in the space of 2 weeks. So it's sort of there's question marks on both sides of that form. So I'll sit down and do that tomorrow. Yep. But that's the one race I've been scratching my head about, because if it was a Lloyd Williams stayer, for example, off that hot pace backing up 2 weeks, I'd be really keen. But 3-year-old fillies, less, I don't know. I have to have a deep think about that and see how we go. But the fields are out already. My other girlfriend Probable's back, so I'll probably be sucked in there as well. But we'll talk about that later in the week. And Nature's Trip was outstanding. We both read that a little bit wrong. Once it got a couple of quiet sectionals, it was never going to be beat, really.
No, that's right. It was just way too good. Produced its best, and when Nature's Trip does that, we saw what it can do. For me, I've probably backed Nature's Trip some really good times, but it's hurt me on a couple of occasions, and just wasn't sure where it was at, but showed me where it was.
Yep. Yeah. What do you do? Anyway, let's move on. Let's get to Hawkesbury tomorrow, where we've got good track racing. The rail, I believe, is out 3 meters. So generally at Hawkesbury, it's no disadvantage being on pace since they've moved the winning post back on pace and up. So if it's not on pace, it's right down the outside fence, which is how it played. Similar setup here back in October. So we'll watch for that early. Do you have any thoughts? We've got a couple of 2-year-old races to kick off. Did you have a thought in the first with the boys in the 2-year-old?
No, I didn't. I left that alone. It was a bit too hard for me, and the second was pretty similar.
Yeah, I thought the market's probably right in the first with AC Dynasty. I liked the big improvement between the 2 trials. It really trialled quite well off into that second trial. Quite dominant, just on pace. The other interesting one there, I think, is Briggs, who debuted back in the Clockwork Classic. Went around about $8 and has trialled pretty well for the Snowden since, and I think might be the danger there. Yeah, the girls in the partner race, just, too hard for me. Too hard for me there. So we'll get to race 3, the staying contest. You got something for us here?
Oh, look, another tricky affair. I generally don't get too excited by these staying races, and this has done nothing to get me overly excited as well. But I probably thought the favourite looked hardest to beat here. It's third up after a spell now, so should be rock hard fit for this 2100 metres. It was a pretty good run last start behind what I thought was a decent race, and Blesk was quite a good winner. Going well, and High Master just the same. It's going all right as well. So, look, I think it probably looks hardest to beat in this small field.
Yeah, I was with you. Obviously, I thought Lady Loves to Gamble was the main danger of being on pace, but I think this is a nice race for Relucent. It's like you touched on the form through that first up race. Last time at 2000, it won on protest against accountability down at Kembla, which is good enough form for this. So, yeah, I'm saying if the market's right here in favour, it'll be the one to beat. Race number 4 is my system update. The 3 and 4 year old benchmark 72. Cracking race. I think we see a nice horse coming to Hawkesbury at least. Majestic Shot has looked pretty impressive in all 3 or 4 of its runs, and last time ran some really good numbers to go with it. So I think it's a serious horse coming here. What is it now? It's into 230 now. Going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, 100%. Strong well enough out in 7. Collett to board. Yeah, look, pretty hard to go past.
I thought the one over the odds, it wasn't great first up, but if it brings its best form, Bellucci Babe can be the one to get on pace and give him, if it is paying that way, was $14 last night, 10 to 10. Will be the one it'll have to get past. Bring some actual Sydney form here. And it was a bit weak first up, but be better for the run. And that Silly in the Dreaming did go like a rocket. So probably give that first up there.
Yeah, thought the same, mate. But yeah, looks a pretty nice bet.
We've got the boys equivalent again, benchmark 72, race 5. What do you like?
Yeah, hard to go past Exoboom here. Another good horse, resuming. Look, it's drawn the one gate, so should rail up and lead again. And if it produces some of the form it had in last preparation, should take account of these, I would have thought. Trialled okay, didn't overdo it. And before it went out for a spell, was winning by some good margins, albeit at some other, Kembla and Wyong, but was beating them quite comfortably. So this looks a very winnable race first up.
Yep, agree. Trial was good coming back for this. I think this has got a Queensland written on it. I think they'll be heading up somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that in the next few months. Good luck to a friend of the show. Another share for Carol here. She's got a share in Harmony Rose. She's got a share in this. She had 2 winners at Gosford last week, so she's going all right in life. Good luck again there. I thought the danger, if there's any, was Waiahaha Falls. I thought that was a good win on debut at Kenzo. It wasn't in the complete A1 part of the track and came out underneath them, but was pretty strong. I think they're the 2. And but yeah, I think this favourite might be a good horse. The girls benchmark 72 again over 1,300 metres. Easy day for the barrier attendance this week. Do you like this race at all?
Not an overly big fan of the race. I thought the main horse to beat here was Phenomi. I thought its runs in this time have been pretty good. It was first up, ran a nice second, came out and won second up. Third up, chased home some decent horses there and wasn't beaten very fast. So, look, I think it drops back in grade here. Won its Hawkesbury 2 starts back, gets the 3 kilo claim from Campbell Warilla. It's $6.50. I think it's probably the best play in this race in a pretty open race.
By default, yeah, I didn't like the race. I had it probably on top. I actually would have tipped Canadian Spice, but it's been scratched, I've just noticed. So I'll keep an eye out for where that goes next. The rest of the race didn't overly interest me too much. So sort of by default, Campbell taking some weight off as well. I'll agree with you there. Race 7 is a 78 over the 1,500 metres. Not an exciting race either. We've got a winner though.
Yeah, mate. Look, I've gone for Ruby Tuesday. Again, I thought it hit the line really well last start, behind a horse that came out and won on the weekend in the likes of Jewess at Warwick Farm. Probably prefer the bit longer straight and bit more spacious track here. It was only a length and a half off it. Darling Diamond ran second, so that's a far better quality race than what meets here. Tom Marquardt aboard, drawn at 7, probably settling just off pace, midfield, hopefully come down the middle of the track, and might just be the one that can finish over the top of him.
Cool. I was going to forgive Mighty Bill's failure at Canterbury when it was long odds on 6 weeks back. Trial since, freshen up, back to this, back to a track where it can probably get a bit of space in not an overly strong race. I was happy to give it another chance. I thought it had, again, another horse heading to Queensland before that failure at Canterbury, which sometimes happens at Canterbury. So happy to forgive that.
Yeah, and it was coming back in distance, which also probably suits.
Yeah, so I think freshen up, 6 weeks off, trial, back in distance. Can run well here. And the last...
Yeah, certainly the 2 to play, 9 and 10.
Last of the day is the 1,100 metre sprint, benchmark 72 for 5-year-old and up horses. So not an overly strong contest. So we see a lot of bush stuff here. I thought, it's 3 wins from 23 starts, but I thought Invincible Lad is hard to beat here. It actually has some metro form. Just missed behind El Coyote, just missed behind Mossman Gorge, who, we know what we get with that sort of horse. Just missed behind Frozen in Time at this track. So trial was nice resuming here, and this is, as I said, essentially a bush race, and I thought around $6.50. Tommy Berry does ride Hawkesbury pretty well. Thought it was a good way to finish the day. The other one I would have had clearly on top, except I get a bit weird about Jess Taylor sort of in these metro races that have been Nick Talk. It's just going to go straight to lead, and they're going to have to get past it. So they're sort of the 2 for me in the last. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I led to Nick Talk. For the obvious reasons. I think it will get out in front, and it's won its last 2. Really nice win last start at Wellington. It's led him a merry dance and won very well. But 3 starts back was at Canterbury. Was double figures odds and finished 6th, but only 4 lengths behind. Star Spangled Rodeo ran second in that, and we know how well it's going. You'd certainly think that would win this race fairly comfortably. So I think its form of recent times going off that and then following up with 2 wins, albeit Gosford and Wellington. This is, as you said, more of a bush race. I think it could be hardest to beat.
Perfect. Yep. As I said, sort of agree with you there. Sum up for progretracing.com.au. Sum up your thoughts at Hawkesbury.
Yeah, look, my best bet of the day comes up in race 5, number 9, Exoboom. I think it's a good horse on the way up, be hardest to beat. And my value bet comes up in the last, race 8, number 5, Nick Talk, around the $6 mark.
My best as well would be Exoboom, and I'll make my value. I'll go against you, Invincible Lad, but I think they're the 2 at the price. You can back both of them each way and be pretty happy. We head down to Bendigo, where it is good track racing. Rail is out 8 meters actually, so just look for any on pace sort of bias there. But Bendigo's generally pretty good with that. We're kicking off with a few maidens. Where do you sit your first bet of the day?
Yeah, my first bet of the day is comes up in the first in the form of the favourite Fan Club, about even money. First up was pretty good. Just probably ran out a bit of fitness there. First up over the 1,400 metres, loomed up, but the winners were just a bit too strong in the straight. I think it'll strip a lot fitter for this. And if you go back 3 starts where it finished second to Hasseltoff at Pakenham over 1,400, I think that's good enough form to win a maiden class race of this nature. So for me, Fan Club, very hard to beat in the first.
Great. I'll head to the second, which is another maiden over 1,100 meters. And the Hawks horse, I've had a great deal of luck with these Hawks first starters in the last 2 weeks, but She's Booming's trialled pretty well in Sydney twice. It now goes down to Melbourne, I assume, looking for dry tracks. Spirit of Boom filly, and doesn't have to be a world beater to win this race. And so I've got She's Booming number 8 on top in race number 2. Anything to add here?
No, nothing to add for me, mate.
Race 3 is the 2-year-old race of the day. A lot of unexposed stuff. You letting this one go as well?
Letting that one go, mate.
Cool. Yeah, El Rey did debut in town behind Arcaded, so has to be, I guess, respected. But when you got so much unexposed stuff, it's not a betting option. Race number 4, 1,100 meters, benchmark 70. Zorro Dream's been one of yours over the months. Is it one here for you today?
It's not, mate. This was a really tough affair because there's a few horses here that I've tipped in the past. I thought Madeir looked really hard to beat. It's flying, but it just seems to be getting too far out of its ground.
Yep.
And it's a horse that keeps saying next start, next start, next start, which certainly worries me with a horse of its nature. Does get the 1,100, which I think that's the more suited distance. So probably one more chance for it here to win with Craig Williams aboard. And I thought the main danger was It's Kind of Magic, number 5. Just hasn't come up the last prep. It only had the one start and was put out for a spell. And then prior to that, it was pretty similar. So it's had a bit of misfortune the last 2 preps. But if you go back to the prep before that, it was starting favourite and winning some good races around the likes of Moonee Valley in the city and beating some decent horses. So if it can come back to its best form, can win a race like this easily first up.
I'm with you with Madeir. I like out to 1,100. I think it suits it better than the 1,000 it's been stuck at. I like Bendigo, where it's been at Sandown, which isn't always great for it. Or isn't always great for making ground, especially the last few weeks. And I like that Talia hopes off and Craig Williams goes on. I think can hopefully posse up close enough. It was, at least to the eye, it was a massive run last time. Yeah, home and under
few starts.
and was just given none and rocketed home. Craig Williams is good enough to hopefully get this close enough and get it into the race. I think I'm with you that I think it's one of the better bets of the day, actually, the more I think about it.
Yeah.
Race 5 is the staying contest, benchmark 64 over the 2,200. I'm defaulting, as I tend to do, to the lightly raced one here. Poppy Joan, pretty nice win last start. Just timed in and sort of plugged and ran away with it. Back onto the dry, maybe a concern. But I think a lot of these have had enough convictions where I can go with some fresh blood. Mockingbird will lead and was okay behind the horse you found in Yowando. I suppose that raises the other form line to look at, but just thinking fresh blood here might be the way to go.
Yeah, I thought the same, mate. This isn't a strong affair, and its last start win was pretty good, pretty dominant. So hopefully it's a horse on the way up and certainly has the upside in a fair like this. So I went the same, mate.
Benchmark 64 over the mile is race 6. A couple of scratchings have come out, I've just noticed. We've got a lightly raced one from one of your favourite stables up against some exposed horses here. I'll go first. I'm giving Kenzai another chance here. Just doesn't go a yard in the wet. I've heard Nigel Blackiston talk about that just doesn't go at all in the wet. It copped the mid-meeting shower last time in at Sandown, so you just forget that run. Where Craig Williams sort of didn't knock it around once it was never going to be a chance. 3-week freshen up, back in distance. William Sticks, go back 2 starts across the line with Rebel Racer, Sign Seal Deliver, and another horse that have all come out and won since. So just giving it another chance here, and probably terrified of the Pruska horse who has been in the finish both its last 2 starts.
Yeah.
How are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Pruska, one of my boys. Can't knock winning form, and that's two from two, last two starts, 2 from 3 this prep. First up this prep was pretty good. Ran third. Followed that up with 2 really nice wins. One at Bendigo over 1,300. So it's 1 from 1 at the track. Stepping out to 1,600. The further they go, the further it'll improve. Look, it's ready for the 1,600, and can't see why it won't win 3 straight. Main danger, Jenkins, number 3, has a knockout chance.
Cool. Yeah, he had another couple of winners on the weekend, Fruska. Just every time he rolls him out these country meetings, just follow him.
Yeah, he's going good.
The fillies, 3-year-old fillies, over the 1,300 meters, 64 is race 7. Did you have any thoughts?
Yeah, look, I went for the more secrets. Won its first start. Won really easily at Pakenham. Was well backed. Started around the even money, just on pace, and was just way too good. And I expect similar here from the 2 gate. Get up on the pace and some natural improvement around the $4.50 mark. I think it's a nice little bet.
Yep. Danger for me is Madagascar Miss. It was a nice win again at Pakenham in fillies. It was fillies maiden grade, but bolted in pretty softly too. It was a nice debut as well, chasing a couple of horses that have well, we've had some form out of the race. The 2 that beat at home haven't exactly lit the world on fire, but it was a nice enough debut. Should get close to control, and around $8.50, I think, is the main danger to more secrets. I think, yeah, you've found that one. So the one at the bigger.
Yeah, I think that's a good little race, that. I think the horses that run well in that might go on to slightly better.
Oh, all these horses will win races, yeah, I think, down the road. So, yeah, 2 for me there. And I'll keep the roll going because in the last, I think the same colours will win the last. Over the 1,300 metres again, Michigan should get control, should roll the front. Mark Zara sticks off a really nice return at Sandown, and I think he'll win the last. Anything, Dad?
No, mate. I'll finish with Michigan as well, and I'll be making Michigan race 8, number 7, my best bet of the day.
Your value?
My value comes up in race 6, number 7, Excuses.
And Michigan's my best of the day too, so we will be waiting for the last for that. I'll make my value Madagascar Miss in the same colours. I'll have a race-to-race double for the Moroney stable. Beaver, anything up north?
I can't go without giving, excuse me, something up north. Even though the weekend hurt me a little up north, I was slightly off a couple of seconds, which frustrated me a little bit, but let's see if I can bounce back tomorrow. Race 4, number 8, Centre Fire, is my first one. My next one comes up in race 6, number 2, Georgie's Pride. And my last one comes up in the last race of the day, number 6, High Master. So I think we've got 3 winners there for us.
Is High Master the one that just ran at Warwick Farm? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's gone from Sydney straight up there, which makes it almost a pretty good thing for me.
Yes. I would have backed it in Sydney next start probably, so I think I'll be getting on that as well. Good job. So for programming.com.au, check them out for their free tips and extensive guides. This has been Show Us Your Tips. Beaver and I are here twice a week, every week for free on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere good podcasts are found. Good luck tomorrow, mate, and I will see you later this week for day 2 of the championships, which is actually our 1-year anniversary. That was the first show we did. It was day 2 of the championships.
Is that right?
So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate. I look forward to it.
Yeah. So we'll catch you then.
The question is, will I get a chance to eat any of it? That's the biggest question, mate.
I've got to be able to afford it first. So hopefully I can find a winner or 2 tomorrow after Saturday. But we'll see how we go. Good luck there, and I'll catch you soon.
Cheers, mate.